a really good litmus test for me is that if you go to an event and people go, oh, so what do you do? Or, what does your company do? And you're like, well.
And you end up more confused than before you even knew anything about it.
It's sort of like a scene from Silicon Valley, the TechCrunch scene, and all these people are coming up on to pitch their startups, and they say something very technical, like we're using AI and data lake systems to XYZ, blah blah blah, and then at the end they all finish with, well, we're making the world a better place, and everyone cheers.
Yeah. The first thing is the less technical, the better, particularly the more technical your company actually is. The best example, I think, of this is take any company that's building on blockchain. I promise you the first thing out of their mouth you will hear is, we're a blockchain-enabled whatever. And my response to that is always, for the rest of us who are not building our products on blockchain, you don't hear us starting with, we're hosted on AWS, or we're hosted on Google Cloud. So when you asked me about, hey, what does Startup Hype Man do? And I gave you that rush hour thing. Like I told you a 60-second story there. That is my company's elevator pitch I just gave you. And that's something I know exactly. I can say it naturally because I know it really well. That's what I tell any entrepreneur, any marketer, any seller. Know what you want to say well, so it doesn't sound scripted ever or rehearsed. I follow a very specific structure, which is the formula we teach founders and sales teams for their marketing, or for their elevator pitch, is Que Pasa. Que Pasa means what's up or what's happening. And that's really what you're supposed to do, is just tell people what's up with your company. And PASA is the acronym out of that. PASA, problem, approach, solution, action. So when I gave you mine there, I led when I was like, hey, the whole gist of this thing is that we talk to these founders every day who suffer from this rush hour syndrome, right? And I talked through that being the problem, and then how it's leading to people being confused, and people being confused leads to them not knowing what they do or categorizing them the wrong way and not writing checks. Approach is, it's a problem and then approach. Approach is like the catchy one-liner that's almost like your ultimate brand promise to your audience. So in this case, I said, hey, we help these founders become the goat to market. So that's our approach, become the goat to market. Then the solution, I talked about, we do this pitch development. I said, hey, it's really pitches designed to stand out and stand apart. And so they go from looking confused to writing checks. And then action is just kind of like the call to action. Like, how do you carry the conversation forward from there? What do you ask them? Like, what do you want them to do? That's going to, kind of modify based on the situation. But I could have told you our entire 5-6 step process in building a pitch. What's the pitch kit we create for clients, all that stuff. I chose to go high level with our solution because in hearing it for the first time, I know you can only absorb so much information. So I'm going to intentionally go light and say just enough to generate interest for someone to then say, okay, wait, tell me more about that.
Why be a unicorn when you can be the GOAT? Put some respect on me, the truth is on my